Tonight, hypergamy. It's a term well known within the erudite ranks of the men's rights movement, but if you are new around here, you may not have heard of it. So we are going to take this from the basics all the way through grad school for you. Now, at its most fundamental, hypergamy is simply an anthropological word describing the cultural custom for women to marry men of an equal or higher socioeconomic status than themselves. Simply put, girls marry to maintain or increase wealth. They don't marry down. Hypergamy also has some legal history in that in certain parts of the world at certain times, like parts of recent India, it was illegal for a man to marry a woman with as much or more money than him. That is interesting, but this is a Voice for Men radio, so of course we are going to kick up the knowledge factor here because our audience demands it. Hypergamy is not just a custom. It is an expression of human sociobiology. And I hope there are some younger blue pill men out there who may stumble across this broadcast, because the truth is that if you ever want to understand women, you cannot do so without an intimate understanding of hypergamy. Look at it this way, guys. There is one stereotype about men that is grounded in some truth. It's the old, you guys only have one thing on your mind bit. You men think with your dick. Well, there is some truth to that. While men certainly do have a lot more on their minds than just sex, they are wired, biologically speaking, to be very sexual creatures. Our main purpose in that sense is to scatter seeds, to impregnate as many women as possible, and then go on to impregnate some more. You see it around you all the time. Some guy has a regular thing going with a very nice-looking woman, but the truth is that every time another hot female gets in his presence, his eyes and even his mind wander at least a bit, and quite often more than a bit. He may not take action on it, but he does think about it. It doesn't mean that he does not care about the woman he's with. It's just as natural for him as drinking water when he's thirsty, and even more reflexive. It's not his fault at all, any more than it's his fault that he's bipedal and walks upright. It's just the way he was designed, and he was designed that way for a reason. Without a sex drive strong enough to border on obsession in men, strong enough to make them take risks, it stands to reason we would have not made it very far as a species. But here's the deal. You see, women have a part of their programming where it concerns their connection with men that is every bit as strong as the man's tendency to scatter his seed. Women are magnetically attracted to strong, powerful males. That is what lies on their end of the base biological programming. Why do you think professional athletes have women falling at their feet all the time? Mick Jagger is getting old and has been ugly every day of his life. But let him walk into a room full of women, and that gina tingle will spread across the room like a bad rumor. It's not women's fault that they react this way any more than it's men's fault that they get horny at a nude beach during spring break. It's just the programming. But the problem is, well, among many, is that most everyone is aware of the man's tendencies, and we live in an almost constant state of denial about the woman's. We are going to get to more of that after the break, but what is important to stress now is that the drive in women to become instantly attracted to power in men is the very foundation for what we call hypergamy. Women aren't just attracted to powerful, well-off men because of security. Women are attracted to powerful, well-off men because those men make them tingle in the sweet spot. It isn't about his character or his kindness or his sensitivity to feelings. On the biological level, women don't care about any of that shit. That stuff is a luxury they dabble in while reading women's magazines and watching Oprah or whatever other freak is on TV helping women lie to themselves about who they really are. And this is what men, if they have any hope of surviving in the modern sexual zeitgeist, better start paying attention to. Are you listening, guys? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Her attraction to you is not about you. It is about what you have that can be used to enrich her life. And at the moment you don't enrich her life, materially speaking, the clock has started ticking on your departure, and you will be the last one to know it. Your whole reason for being in her life is to satisfy her hypergamous desires. And while you may satisfy them for a while, if you take a look at the divorce rate and who is doing the filing, you might just get an inkling that you are there on borrowed time. I've got more on this in a minute, but first we're going to take a break for some music and a plug for voiceformen.com, and then we will be back.